Hello everybody and welcome to a different kind of video. This time round I've had a lot of requests to do a tutorial on the combat system or the battle system of Final Fantasy XIV, so I'm going to do the best I can to explain how the game works. Now I'm going to have to do a lot of comparison to Final Fantasy XI because compared to this game and 11 there is a lot of difference to the game, so I'll try and go through some of the differences of the game as well as explaining how the battle system works in general. So the first thing you're going to see is I've turned off the duties on the right hand side, so you don't need to see all my missions available at the moment. So I've turned that off just for the sake of it in my HUD settings. That's not really something I wanted to go into, but if anyone's interested in this, let me know. But this is more combat focused than anything else. So the first thing you're going to notice on the top right hand side of your screen, you've got your radar there, which compared to Final Fantasy XI, you did have one. Again, it didn't really... honestly, I can't remember, but I don't think there was much there. I think you could just you ran and you could just see dots on the mini-map of basically NPCs that were there or people running by, online people that is. The other thing you're going to notice is at the bottom left-hand side, like Final Fantasy XI, you've got your chat window, your chat log, which again is self-explanatory. The reason why it says 1 near the person's name at the bottom left-hand side there is because that is link shells. Now you can actually have different link shells equipped. You can have up to 8 link shells equipped. Now I've got a link shell here called Hide and Seekers. I've got another link shell here called Hunter, which is my Hunter, my Hunt link shell group, which are a great group by the way. Fantastic set of people. As you can see at the bottom left hand side there, we're doing hunts. Got a lot of members. Got 84 people online. Oh, sorry, 43 people online. So we've got a lot of people online, generally all the time, and whenever there's a hunt up or a mark up, they just let me know or let everyone know, so anyone who needs it can gather together and kill that. But anyway, I'm going off target here a little bit. So just above my chat window, you've got my HP at 344, you've got my MP at 105, and my TP at 1000. Now, I've had a question asked, now why do we have 1000 TP? Compared to Final Fantasy XI, you had to earn your TP by doing auto attacks. Of course, when you had enough TP, 1000 TP I think, you could then use what you call a weapon skill, a special ability. Now, like on Final Fantasy XIV, you already have 1000 TP, so you've got all your abilities at disposal. I'm just going to run us out while I'm talking. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, obviously, you're going to see that you've got abilities. Now, it's a bit weird, but on the bottom right of each of the square, you can see there's a little number saying 60, 50, you know, as you can see here, spinning edge, 60, sorry, gust slash, 50, and so on and so forth. You can see there's a few there, fracture there, 80. So there's a few there. Now, what that is actually, that's TP. So you use TP as you use your moves. Now, I'm going to go into a fight and try and explain that to you and see if I can, as a kind of guide anyway, explain how the battle system works. So I'm in a place on this game called Aliport. I'm only level 18, as you can see here. I'm playing on the job Rogue, which at level 30 turns to Ninja. I'm just going to go and fight a couple of enemies. If I have to, I will slow down the video so you guys can see me killing in slow motion. Let me find an enemy first. We'll kill some... I don't want to kill the hedge moles. I want to kill something... Let's go kill a puck. A puck hatchling. We're not going to kill this one because Carbuncle's fighting this one at the moment. So we'll leave these guys to it. Here's a puck. Here we go. So, to use your crossbar, or your your hotbar, I don't know why I keep saying cross, your hotbar, this is called a hotbar, or actually, I think it might even be called your macros, respectively speaking, like Final Fantasy XI, this is your macros, so you click R2, that's the right side of your macro list, click left, L2, and that's your left side of the macro list there. So, it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy, oh, hello. Oh, well, thank you very much for that. Apologies for the interruption there. So, there's my abilities. Obviously, I'm going to be clicking the ones that I know do moves. Obviously, you guys won't know what a lot of these will do. So, I'll kill this one over here. So, you can engage yourself in this game by clicking your L3 in. I'm going to talk like I'm on PlayStation 4 because I am on PlayStation 4. So clicking at L3 gets your weapons out. You don't need to get your weapons out. Sounds silly enough, I know. Now, on the Final Fantasy XI, you could bring up a system where you could have a little menu here, click attack, go down to magic, and use your magic this way around. This game is not like that. Now, I'm going to target the enemy. Obviously, target him like you would on any MMO. Go over to it, and you can click your auto attack, but I'm not going to even bother clicking that personally. I don't even use it. I'm going to use Spinning Edge, and then Gust Slash, which is my square there. That will flash to say that it's kind of like a skill chain. It combines together. I'll just run through that real quick. Oh, stupid pad. So let's have a quick read of the abilities. We've got Spinning Edge. Delivers an attack with a potency of 150. So it tells you kind of how strong the move is. And then Gust Slash. Delivers an attack with a potency of 100. Combo action, Spinning Edge. Combo potency 200. So what's that telling me is that I can use Spinning Edge, and straight after, I can use Gust Slash. Now, to give me a notification to say that, yeah, you're okay, you're ready to do that move, it'll flash on the bottom side there. So I'm going to end up trying to do a few kills. So there's Spinning Edge. As you can see, Gust Slash is now spinning. So I'm now going to click Gust Slash. Now, my auto attack is going to kick in, and as you can see, I'm auto attacking anyway. Obviously, there's a certain timer to it, so now I've lost my Gust Slash. I'm going to use Spinning Edge, Gust Slash. Now, whenever I see a backflip with the red move, the red area of effect move there, obviously, I'm just going to move out of the way. Now, some abilities in this game don't use TP, and some of the abilities in the game need other special requirements, i.e. my move here, the Assassinate ability. Let's have a quick look at this real quick. So I've got delivers an attack with a potency of 200, can only be executed when target's HP is below 20%. So it's kind of like a finishing blow, if anything. So if I can show you an example. Also, sorry, I just noticed something. We've also got another ability here called Kiss of the Wasp. Looks like a lot of writing here, but it's pretty self-explanatory, really. Apply Wasp Venom to your weapon, increasing physical damage dealt by 5%. Shares a recast timer with Kiss of the Viper, and cannot be used simultaneously with any other weapon poisons. Ends upon reuse. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about Kiss of the Viper. Mainly because I don't have it. I don't actually have it, so it must be a job ability that I can get after level 30. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. So basically, as it's saying there, it's going to add a poison attack to my attacks, really. So I'm going to use Kiss of the Wasp. There, it's on now. Now, if you ever want to know if something's on or off, I'm going to show you. So on my screen, you can see my name at the top there. I'm going to go Kiss of the Wasp. And you'll see just below my name there, you can see the little logo of Kiss of the Wasp is there, which means that that is working. That's activated. Also, just on the left-hand side here, you can see I've got it here as well, just above where my TP, HP, and MP is. Now, I've actually moved my HUD around a little bit, so the game will differ a bit if you're going to end up buying this game. So don't expect the same layout. That's just how I'm having it. So again, we're going to kill Puck Hatchling. Spinning Edge. I will use Gust Slash. I'm gonna do another Gust Slash just for the hell of it. Watch out for backflip, of course. Now, in just a moment, you'll see my Assassinate ability will start flashing now. Oh, wait a minute. Now, so using this will, as it says, basically assassinates. So if you're looking for where your EXP is, obviously you can see it comes up on the screen, or the bottom left hand side in my chat log there will come up, you gain 191 EXP, which is obviously experience points. In brackets there it says plus 100%. Now what that is when you rest on this game, when you log out and you rest in a camp or in an inn, or in your basically logging out somewhere where it's called a sanctuary, basically resting somewhere in a city, in a camp, then you get bonus EXP the longer you're away from the game. And that's always amazed me because it always makes me kind of think like, you know, rather than saying why don't you play the game, they're actually saying, you know, you'll get some bonus for not playing the game for a bit, so the next time you're in you get some bonus EXP. So that's what that is. Now if you want to know if you're in a safe place to get bonus EXP, On the bottom of the screen there, you'll see where it says ROG level 18. That's obviously Rogue level 18. It shows my EXP, how much I've got, how much till the next level and whatnot. And also, as you enter a town, if you see, there's a little moon shape at the bottom of the screen there. Let's walk out again. You see it's not there. Walk in. You see it's there now. So when you get out of that little moon shape, that is where your bonus EXP will come in handy there. That's where you know that you're going to be resting and getting your bonus EXP. I'm just going to run over something that a lot of people get confused at in this game. Is a lot of the abilities in this game in terms of the statistics, shall I say. That's the word I'm looking for. So this is your armory. So you can see you go here. You've got your armory chest, which is all your equipments, blah, 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 all separated into gloves, body, head, weapons, waist, legs, feet, shield, neck, earrings, bracelet, rings, and then these, which I won't go into soul crystals just yet. Okay, so we go to the character, so you bring up, press start, that's how you use it on PlayStation 4 anyway, go to character, and you've got all these different little bits and bobs you can go over. Now, we're gonna start with attributes, because I want to talk a little bit about attributes. I want to touch on that a little bit. So a lot of people are a bit confused with some of the attributes on this game and what they do. So let's have a little chat about the attributes. Obviously, strength is the same. It obviously affects physical damage, as well as damage prevented by parrying and blocking, which is something new to the game that 11 didn't bring, I don't think. Dexterity affects physical range damage, melee damage dealt by rogues and ninjas, as well as parry and block. Vitality increases HP, and you can actually noticeably tell every time you add a vitality, you also get extra HP. I think it's 8 or 9 HP per 1 vitality. Intelligent affects magic potency, obviously. Mind affects healing potency. Piety, which is new to Final Fantasy in this one, affects obviously your MP. Your elemental resistances, which is, again, self-explanatory. You can tell what that do. Offensive properties. Okay, so we've got accuracy. Affects the accuracy of both physical and magical attacks. Sorry, magic attacks. The higher the rating, the better chance your attack will have of landing. So not just accuracy of, you know, your physical attack, so as well as your magic. Defense affects the amount of damage taken by physical attacks. The higher the value, the less damage. That's pretty self-explanatory, so I won't go into much detail on, in detail on that one. Sorry. Affects the rate at which your physical and magic attacks deal critical damage or restore critical HP. The higher the value, the higher the frequency with which your hits will be critical. Now that's a little bit different there, because it also enhances your magic critical hit as well. Parry affects the rate at which your parry attacks with your weapon. The higher the value, the higher the frequency at which you will parry an attack. Determination. Now a lot of people get confused with this one or forget about this one. Now this one is really, really important. I'd say it's one of my important attributes that people forget. So determination, which is new to Final Fantasy XIV, of course. Sorry, 11 to 14. Affects the amount of damage dealt by both physical and magic attacks, as well as the amount of HP restored by healing spells. Auto attack potency is also affected. So as you can see, that's affected by if someone cures me, the more determination I've got, the more I'm going to be healed for. And also, if I was a white mage, the more determination that I've got, the more I'm going to heal that person for. So it really has two factors, determination, in terms of healing. Also, it affects your magic attacks, so that's also something to take into account, as well as your auto attack potency as well. So, auto attack, if I go to my weapon here, you can see it says here my physical damage is 12, and then it says next to it auto attack 9.60. That's obviously the damage I'm going to be doing. So the more determination I get, the more that will go up. And then of course we've got magic defense, which is again pretty self-explanatory. You've got skill speed on this game, rather than on Final Fantasy XI you had haste. So this affects the recast timer for weapon skills. The higher the value, the shorter the recast time. So I always think that skill speed was, you know, just pile on skill speed. The more skills I can get off, the better. But really you want a good balance of your skill speed and of course your other attributes and elemental properties and properties in general. So we've got spell speed affects both the casting and recast timers for spells. The higher the value, the shorter of the timers. Now that I didn't know until I read this actually now, being a noob now, that this affects the casting time as well as the recast timer. I thought it just affected the recast timer. So again, even myself, after playing this game for quite a long time, I still learned something new going over the attributes here and there. Or actually, maybe I knew it, but probably just forgot it. Healing magic potency, okay, so this obviously affects the amount of HP restored via magic, affects the amount of damage dealt by magic attacks, which obviously that's my attack magic potency. And down here, now this is something I need to touch on it in my actual Let's Play, but the average level of your gear you have equipped equals a higher rating will allow you to undertake more difficult challenges via the duty finder. So I'm level 18. I'm wearing a level... Honestly, I'm not wearing the full set of armour. A lot of what I'm wearing could be better. But just to give you an example, I'm wearing a level 15 dagger, a level 5 headpiece, blah, 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 for the rest of my stuff. And it's given me a total of an average of what my average item level is. So I don't need to worry, and no one else needs to really worry between 1 and level 50, or 1 and 49 anyway. Especially through the main story scenario, you don't really need to worry too much about your average item level, because this doesn't really come into play so much until you hit level 50. To give an example, I'm going to switch to my Dragoon now. So this is my Dragoon. As you see, an instant change of a job. That's something we'll touch on in just a moment. Now, you can see that my average item level here, at the bottom left-hand side there, is 106. Now, that's pretty decent. It's good. It's not bad. It's not brilliant. It's by no means, you know, the best Dragoon in the server and whatnot. But that gives me, for going down to my duties now, let's give an example. Let's do Ampador Keypad. Let's go down. So you click the dungeon. This is obviously a level 50 dungeon. And at the bottom right hand side here, I'm going to use my PlayStation 4 controller. You can see here, average item level requirement is level 90. So I need to be at a minimum of level 90 to be able to undertake this dungeon. So you can go in if you're too weak. So that's pretty much of an understatement. So I need my average item level to be at least 90. Bearing in mind, I need to know the job well. It doesn't say that on there, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, you need to know your job well. You can't just go into a level 50 dungeon at an average item level 90 and still not know how to play a job. So just to touch on switching jobs like I just did there. Now, unlike Final Fantasy XI to Final Fantasy XIV as well, some more differences between the game is that with Final Fantasy XI you had to go into your Mog House to change jobs, gear up using your Mog Safe and excuse me, your Mog Safe and your Mog Locker, your Mog Sack, your Mog Satchel, Mog Wardrobe, whatever else you use to gear up. On this game, all you need is the weapon. So I'm Dragoon now. I'm going to switch to, I don't know, let's say I'm going to switch to Paladin. So I can manually go to my sword, and just by clicking the weapon, it will gear me up on, well, it won't gear me up, it will switch me to the job Paladin. Or I can go to my gear set list, which I think you unlock at level 20, I think. Again, don't quote me on that one. Then you can basically make an armor set for all the classes you need to do. So, for example, I've got my Paladin here at item level 105, is in brackets there. So I'm going to switch to my Paladin. And there it is. There's my Paladin. So this is what I've been doing a lot of my duties on. Now, another thing to touch on, and a good example of doing it anyway, is also the one thing you need to watch out for on Final Fantasy XIV is that over time, when you're playing the game, your weapons or your equipment will wear a little bit. Now, do not fret, they won't break, nothing like that. So let's talk about this. So you can see my weapon here, for example. On the bottom right hand side, you can see where it says item level 110, Gladiator Paladin, level 50, the bonuses, the strength 30, blah, 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 blah. Underneath all that, the next column down, you can see it says condition, 57%. Spirit bond, 50%. Now, condition is obviously the state of my equipment's in, or that particular equipment or armor is in. So what will happen is if that goes to 0, the effects of the weapon will be useless. There will be nothing there. The only thing that will come into play is possibly your physical damage and your auto attack. So your strength 30, your vitality 35, your accuracy 22, your determination 22, that'll have nothing. That will be all 0. So you'll have nothing there. Now, throughout Eorzea in the main storyline and your exploration of Final Fantasy XIV, you'll find a merchant mender. Now I'm in Alleyport, so I'm just going to go to use this one for an example. You can actually find this by zooming in on your map. You can actually see, this is a bad example now, but you can see there's a little sack there, like a little pouch, like a coin pouch. Now that just obviously shows you on the radar is it's a shop. Now the reason why it shows you as a shop is because he also sells tools, but you can also go to this guy. Normally they are named a mender of some sort, merchant and mender, a weaponsmith mender, all the usual stuff, but it'll normally end with a mender, obviously to mend your armour. So we'll click on the guy to repair your armour. Now this is the annoying thing, is that it does cost gil. Don't fret, gil's not too hard to come by in this game. You can get gil a lot more easier than, from speaking from a Final Fantasy XI player point of view. Gil was precious, you had to go out and farm, back in the day, farming those silk threads, those crawlers and silk threads to get that gil, that was probably a bad example there, guys, and that was definitely rolling back the years on Final Fantasy XI, but you get my drift. So, you can switch to, I want to repair this armour, 86 gil for my sword, 86 gil for my shield, and blah, 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 blah. Or you can say, right, well, I want to repair the full set of my paladin armour. And you can see the total on the bottom right hand side, which, now that's quite a lot actually. Normally it's a fair bit less, but obviously for this video I've not actually repaired my armour before it. Stop it, controller. I'm going to repair all my armour, so as simple as that. 1200 gil, all my armour is now mended. Now I'd recommend leveling up between at least level 1... yeah, probably 1 and 40, 45. I would recommend, now this sounds really silly now, I'd recommend not repairing your armour because you're going to be levelling up so fast that it doesn't particularly matter about the quality of your armour too much, because by the time it reaches 0, if it reaches 0, you'd probably be changing your armour anyway. Another thing to note about this is about equipment. So underneath where it says condition, on the bottom right hand side again, guys, you'll see where it says something called Spirit Bond. Now people are going to be asking me, what's Spirit Bond? What's this? We never had this on Final Fantasy XI. Spirit Bond is basically the more you've used it, the more it's become. Think of it like this: the more it's become attached to you, the more you've attached it to yourself. I can't really explain it in any other way, really. But what it means is that if any of your armor is spirit bonded by at least a minimum of 1%. Now this is the sound. This is where it's going to sound a bit rubbish, but you won't be able to sell that piece of equipment on the market board, or in Final Fantasy XI terms, the auction house. Now you may ask why. Now I honestly think that Square Enix have done that so that you can't buy and sell, selling the same equipment, blah, 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 blah. I think they've done it so that, and I think they've also done it so that they've implemented something else into the game. Now I'm going to see if I can give you an example. I probably cannot, but I'll see. We'll see. So let me see something here. Okay. I can't really use anything as an example. Oh, well, there we go. I've just made some money on the screen. So, guys, with your equipment getting it to 100% Spirit Bond, if you were finished with the armor and you wanted to sell it, as I just told you before, you can't actually sell it. So what I'd recommend is you can go to doing something at level 19, go into a guy in, I think, Central Thanalan. Let's see if I can find it on the map for you guys. Central Thanalan. Now, you're going to have a teleport in the Blackbrush Station. Now, if you go to the bonfire up here, guys, you can talk to a goblin there at level 19, and he will teach you how to I think the word I'm looking for is assimilate. I think, could be wrong, but basically what he's going to teach you is how to convert a piece of equipment. As I'll give you an example now. So I've got the let me find something on 100%. 100% amateur's headgear. So it's going to give me a quest where it's going to teach me how to convert equipment into materia. So I can click this, go down. It'll, after doing a quest, of course, I can then convert armor. It'll say, are you sure you want to convert it? I'll click yes. You'll have a small little animation, and in your inventory you'll have a materia. Now a materia will look like something like this. This is just an example. So as you can see, you've got the intelligence materia. This is just a pure example. I didn't get this from doing it because I didn't do it, but you'll get a materia. Now with these materias, you're asking, what can we do with materia? Now when you're crafting, you can put materia onto a piece of armor. Now really this is for another video really, but to give you an example, I have made myself a neck piece for my ninja. So as you can see here, on the left hand side now, you can see it's got all races, level 16. So this is what my ninja wears. So I've got strength 1, dex 1, and and accuracy 1. Now all of them are from the equipment itself. That's what the equipment has. Now what I've done is I've actually added some materia to it. So as you can see, it's got materia. Now the Savage Aim Materia 1, that's the name of the materia. You can see it's given me critical hit rate +1. And underneath that, I've put another materia in of Quick Arm Materia 1. That's obviously giving me skill speed +1. So it's only a low amount, critical hit and skill speed. But for me to be level 16 or 18 rogue, that would be a little bit of an added bonus, because that piece of neck there doesn't actually give a critical hit or a skill speed. So it's always going to be that little bit of something that's going to help me out. So, but I'll save a lot more of materia and crafting for another video. I thought I'd just talk a little bit about the introduction to the game. I'm going to probably end the video on just doing some fights just outside on my rogue. And I'm probably going to stop talking there, guys, really. One thing I'll note is after level 10, you'll start getting a attribute point, where you get to add your attribute points to your character, basically. So as like Final Fantasy XI, you leveled up, you get extra enhancements in terms of attributes anyway, for all your attributes. But this time we get a bonus, so you can allocate one particular attribute point to another attribute. So because I'm a rogue, and as I've read up here, I don't know what's going on with my controller today, guys. It really doesn't like me today. Going to my dexterity, as it said here, melee damage dealt by rogues, blah blah blah. I'm obviously a rogue, so I'm obviously going to go for this dexterity. That's vitality. Dexterity. There we go. So guys, I've been here on Genesis. I don't know if this video's been helpful to anyone. I feel like I've just rambled for a bit, so I'm not really sure how this sounds. If this video has helped you in any particular way, whether it's helped you get started into Final Fantasy XIV, whether it's just, you've decided to look up Final Fantasy XIV to see what the game's like, the battle system's like, just to see how things worked, how similar 14 is to 11, in terms of Final Fantasy anyway, or you just wanted to see what this MMO was like, then I hope I'll give a brief explanation on some things. If you've got any questions whatsoever, I will get back to you. Please leave them down below. Leave a like if this video has helped you in some way. Particularly share this video if you think this might help a friend of yours getting into the game, whether it's a friend who's looking into getting into the game and they want to understand it a little bit, or get a head start, learn some bits before they get the game, or they just want to generally see what the game is like, then by all means, share it with maybe a friend like this. Or if you just want to share it for the hell of it, I would appreciate that. It really does help me out as a channel. You can also follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description down below. To keep up to date with my videos. I don't just do Final Fantasy XIV videos. I'm a Let's Player, so I do other games as well. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy gaming, guys. Take care.
was a change.